Gaurav, welcome. You've been a part of this campaign as much as anyone else. In fact, you have also led this campaign from the front. 8 years of the campaign, and obviously, we couldn't have asked for a better partner. What keeps Reckitt so committed to this project?
Many reasons, Sanket. But first of all, very excited to be on the 9th season. I don't know who could have thought we'll be here, and the progress that we've had over these 8 years, amazing. But many reasons why we are here. I think I would like to thank NDTV. We couldn't have asked for a better partner. And because it's a like-minded partnership. So I think that helps. Having the great man here, Mr. Bachchan, I think we couldn't have asked for more. And not because of his persona and personality, but I think more because of his commitment and because people listen to him. His message goes far and wide. It energizes us. I think my team, where is Ravi, Jyotsna, Soumya, I mean, these are people who put their heart. I can tell you they put their heart. We couldn't have done it without them. They energize us. And as Chris said, I think the deeper reason is our purpose, our fight. One of our ex-CEOs said, you can't do good till you do good. And it's an ethos. It's an ethos that we carry. We are also people, a company which are very energized by results. We are a very achievement-oriented kind of company. And when we see results, what our school program has achieved, what our Reach Each Child program has achieved, our diarrhea program, you get buoyed by that. I mean, obviously you don't do things which are not achieving anything. So that is amazing, and that gets us back.
Correct.
What the governments are doing in India, I mean, I was amazed. I came here 5 years back. This is my 5th season. I'm a big skeptic by heart, but I think the amount of good work you see today, state governments, central governments, everybody is wanting to do is so amazing. I mean, Ravi goes to any government office and we say, this is our program, and you say, okay, how do you do it more? That's the attitude that we see. That energizes us. Our people energize us. Every one of our employees who joins this company goes through one of the modules of Banega, Swasth India. They work in the field. It's also become a big differentiator of talent. What companies do for society and environment, I think over time is becoming one of the key differentiators of talent in the young population. That energizes us. So I think there are many, many reasons. And so that we are here for the long haul, and hopefully we can continue this for many more years.
बच्चन साहब एक और बात बताते चलें, जैसे कि आपने इसका जिक्र भी किया था, the theme this time around, and we've seen how the themes have changed. Every season has a very specific target, a specific mission. From Swachh to Swasth, that switch that was made about 4 years ago, to today, where the mission is Laksh, a mission Sampoorn Swasth ka. So, I mean, how do you look at what is the, how do you achieve that goal? Sampoorn Swasth.
Yeah, I just feel that every time you build a tagline, you're compelled almost to follow it to its completion. And it's very important to have formed that tagline and then make it, possible and plausible. I just feel that every year, I mean, thanks to NDTV and all of us that cooperate in this mission, it is important to keep drilling this thought into every mind in the country. Many a times, a lot of people look at us and say, "Do teen char baat karke aap log chale gaye, uske baad kuch hua nahi." But when you see results happening in front of you, that's when you realize that this mission is succeeding, and may it continue to succeed. But as I said, we have to keep pushing, we have to keep endeavoring to make sure that that tagline is lived up to.
Would you like to tell us a little, Gaurav, about this mission? How does Reckitt propose to go about?
Well, when we thought about it, Sanket, you were in the room, Doc was in the room when we discussed this as to how do we take this forward. And we started with basic hygiene. Season 1, hand washing, school program. We have come a long way. We've shifted to health. We've gone and done many other programs which impact. I mean, hygiene is obviously the base foundation of health, but then you do programs which have a bigger impact on health across. I mean, what we've achieved in Maharashtra with our infant mortality rate reduction program. I mean, we had 0 deaths because of malnutrition. Now it's going to 3 states. That, to us, is a big determinant of what good health can do. And I think when you read up the stats of what IMR, which is infant mortality rates in this country, and you see it by state, and you see how progress can happen through a reduction of overall health. So, I mean, what the government has started on Ayushman Bharat, it's transformative. Obviously, it will take its own time. In India, everything takes time to trickle down, but to have that 10 crore families to be under that scheme, the impact it can have, and you see around yourself. I mean, I think poverty, the circle of poverty, when health plays a huge role. I mean, imagine, and I've seen people, and I'm sure every one of us has seen, when people who are relatively poor, when they get into a sickness problem and their income levels drop, it is a vicious negative cycle. So insurance that the Ayushman Bharat scheme gives goes a long way in elevating their health. And I think through this program, I would say, and we were discussing it with Doc, that if we, or people who are the better off in society, if we can just say that we adopt 4 people or 5 people in our houses or our household, people who work for us, if we can just give them insurance. I mean, it costs nothing. I mean, it's about 2% of the cost of you insure. So instead of a Diwali mithai gift you give, if you can give an insurance, health insurance to people who need it, I think it can just add and boost the efforts of the government. But this whole thing of getting India to total health, not only, and moving on from continuing the work on hygiene, but doing work which makes the overall society healthy is going to be extremely important in the coming years.
You know, in fact, Gaurav, I wanted to ask you a question on, and we have done this in the past also in previous seasons, of helping people understand, make economic sense of, their health. How remaining healthy has an economic sense, not just for individuals, but also the country. Would you like to tell us a little more about that?
Well, I mean, there's 2 sides of the debate, and I keep on meeting people through this program of people who are experts, and Doc is the big economist who's the expert, as to what is the causality between economic growth or GDP and health and vice versa. And you can argue both ways that, okay, when economic growth happens, you have more hospitals, better sanitation, better facilities, and that leads to better health indicators. But the reverse, when you actually go into deep about it, and if you say infant mortality, which every country in the world takes as an indicator of health infrastructure. Because, infant mortality rates determine what is happening in that area on the health infrastructure, because it is about your mother, I mean the woman, how she has grown up on what health, and therefore the baby's health. Post the baby is born, what happens to nutrition, to mother's milk, the quality, access to healthcare. So infant mortality rate is a major indicator of what the overall health of a region or a state is. And when you see that across states, I mean, you see states which have a higher IMR have a lower GDP per capita. But if you see, I mean, economically the theory is very simple, that if you have a lower IMR, you have a better workforce going forward. Better workforce means better productivity, healthier people work better, they earn more. When they earn more, they save more. And in the economic sense of it, savings is investment. So investment in the country increases, and that causes growth. So, I mean, there's clear, we believe very strongly that improving the health infrastructure and improving the overall health of this country will go a long way in becoming the number 3 economy in 10 years. Maybe we should do it in 8 or 7. I think it'll go a long way.